Hey, ladies, and I'd like to welcome you to the Girl Boss Method podcast, hosted by myself, Ritu Bra. And this podcast is basically part of the Girl Boss program. So you get an insight into some of the educational topics that we cover, and you get an insight into the experiences of some of the other ladies on board. Now, I have said welcome, ladies, but that's because I'm joined by two wonderful women today. But also, if you are a man listening to this podcast and you are interested in coaching, the Girl Boss Method might not be for you, understandably, but perhaps maybe we could talk about other programs or avenues for you, especially if you have fitness or business goals. So anyway, we are going to get into this evening's topic, and I'm joined by two clients. So one is the lovely Sonia. Now, Sonia's been with us for a couple of months now on the program. She's actually also on one of my other programs. So not only do I have the Girl Boss Method, the program, but I also teach one-to-one Pilates, and I do a bit of sports massage in my hometown of Sunbury-on-Thames. So Sonia first came to me a little while back, a couple of months, so it feels like forever, but it's not really that long ago now. But she came to me with more of an interest in Pilates, and then as we kind of built our relationship together, we also realized that she would really benefit from doing the Girl Boss Method and working through the program, going over some of the education when it comes to nutrition, to mindset, and to fitness as well, and just working that around her life as well. Next up, we have Nicolette also on the call. And now Nicolette, she's not going to say too much tonight because she's actually in the gym. So for those of you ladies on the Girl Boss Method, who are inside the program, who are watching this video back, you'll be able to see her give a good old wave on the treadmill. But for those of you just listening in, just to let you know, she's working hard. She's getting her fitness done outside of her business. And Nicolette's actually an amazing lash artist and technician. And she does that in the area of Northwest London. So if you would like to find out more about the program or even network and understand a little bit more about some of the businesses that my clients are involved in, then please shoot me a message on Instagram. And that's at Richu Bra. I'll spell that out for you. RICHU BRAR. So let's get into tonight's topic. Okay, so the topic today. So the girls inside the program, they do ask questions, or I ask them questions rather, when it comes to their weekly check-in. I always ask them what topics they'd like us to cover, if there's anything they'd like us to kind of explore together as a group. And one of the questions or the topics was more to do about like mindset and also finding out a little bit more about how to, you know, when you're not seeing those fitness, the goals, you're not getting them to them so as quick as you'd like to, or, perhaps you've got a date in mind and you're just sort of, frantically thinking, I need to kind of aim for that date. And perhaps maybe things are not going as well as you'd hope because life gets in the way, work gets in the way, relationships get in the way, and everything can feel almost like it's coming to a head. So this is where mindset comes in, okay? And I'd say that really fitness and mindset, they kind of they go together and they go hand in hand. So we'll be exploring this topic today, and I'll be giving you a few little tips. And again, we'll find out what the ladies have to offer and have to say about their experiences as well. When it's come to these fitness and just sort of, your mindset and how you're feeling about everything. So the topic for today is, what has fitness got to do with mindset? So firstly, we're going to explore, well, how do they relate? So some of the things I sort of was jotting down as I was sort of diving into this topic. I've made a couple of points here. You can write these down as well. So if you do have a pen and paper handy, note them down. But if I sort of tackle each point one at a time, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. So firstly, we can think about motivation and persistence. So when we're thinking about maintaining a consistent fitness routine, we actually do require a positive and a strong mindset, because yes, motivation can be there and that can get you started, it can get you kick-started, and it can get you through the door. But at some point, especially when we're thinking about building these habits, building that, you know, that perseverance as well, you can't rely heavily on motivation alone. So having a resilient mindset is going to help you stay committed to your fitness goals, even when your progress is slow or it almost feels like it's non-existent. And guys, this is another reason why these ladies have a coach, because especially when you're looking at yourself, whether it's looking in the mirror, whether it's thinking about how you feel, sometimes having that friend that can give you that advice that's non-judgmental, that can also look at you in a way and visualize across the board what growth is like for you, that can feel very motivating in itself as well. So everything is not just purely about how you look, you know, and what the scales are saying, and there's growth in so many other areas as well. So it's just really important to try and think also about keeping that resilient mindset. Another thing that we might look at is goal setting. So having realistic fitness goals and almost having a plan and developing a plan. So each of my ladies, actually, we do develop the plan together. So yes, I give them the tools and I tell them what to do, but a lot of what they are doing is a very shared, empowered experience as well. So we will look at things like, again, the goals, the fact that, you know, it's realistic, the time frames, and also making them remember not to lose sight of those objectives as well. Overcoming your plateaus. So fitness plateaus are common, especially when you feel like you're not making progress. So again, strong mindset comes in again. They're going to help push you through. And this is quite like a transferable skill as well. So everything that I'm saying here, although I'm relating it to fitness, this can also be really important when we're thinking about our career and our business goals as well. Let's say, for example, you've got a business and you've had a tough week. Things are not going the way that you want. It's so easy to kind of feel scared and run to safety, you know, whether that's shying away from the tough tasks and just sticking to the easy ones, or it's even seeking out other different opportunities that take you away from your path. Like, it's really important to stay, again, I'm saying resilience again, but just to know that plateaus do come, but they also go as well. So just keep that in mind. Self-perception and body image. Now, this is a big topic, especially when we're thinking about social media. We are in an age where TikTok and Instagram and all sorts of social media platforms, half of which I cannot remember or even name, but there are a great deal of celebrities. Now, there are some celebrities out there or even influencers that are actually really, really positive, and they do actually have a really positive impact on individuals that are following their content, on maybe even society as well. But unfortunately, there is a world out there where some things that they are talking about, or even tactics they're talking about, can be damaging. Like they can really help make people feel quite insecure and like self-conscious as well, and maybe even think about taking dangerous routes that are not sustainable. So I think it's just really important. And Nicolette, there's a singer, I don't know, I think her name, this is really bad, I'm really not down with like current celebrities, but there was something that was shared online on Instagram the other day about I think she's a rapper or a singer that was talking about doing a 2-hour gym workout, drinking only juice and not eating any food, and saying that her waist and everything was just going to be snatched. And like, that person doesn't realize that there are young women out there that will look at that, and if there's so much misinformation out there, they're going to think that that's the only way, right? Nicolette, do you know who I'm talking about?
I can't recall. No.
One of the other girls inside of the program was talking to me about it, actually, and shared it with me, and I was like, wow, this is what's out there. So it's just really important to keep a level head and actually really just really know how to kind of navigate through like what's good and what's bad out there, right? I mean, it's hard. But yeah, so, when you do start exercising and you focus on good nutrition and you focus on things like sleep and healthy habits, and you focus on not just trying to achieve a specific look in the shortest amount of time, that's going to strengthen your mind muscles in a completely different way. Like, it's going to be something that stays with you, because these habits, they don't just come and go like seasons. They stay with you and they actually become a part of you, your lifestyle, and your growth as an individual as well, which I'll come on to the last one now of this slide, which is stress management. Okay, so stress, Sonia, I'd love to hear from you. How do you perceive stress management when it comes to exercise? Like, yeah, give me your experience. What does it do for you?
Stress.
Do you find that fitness helps you? Is it like an outlet for you? So like coming in and doing your Pilates at home, do you feel like that helps relieve some of the stress that you may be feeling?
I do think Pilates does help. It helps, mentally and physically. It helps you. It definitely helps me with my health, whereas I'm not a gym person. I've tried out yoga. I'm not a very good swimmer. Cycling's not my thing either. So I think it's whatever suits you, but I think it really does help your stress, and you can just for about even if you do like 10 minutes of Pilates in a day, you'll just feel so good mentally and physically.
I absolutely love that. That's so good. I agree with you so much. It's just like, I think exercise that you enjoy is like an excellent stress reliever. I think it's going to help build that positive mindset. You get those wonderful hormones, those endorphins that are released when you are exercising. You could go into a gym session, or even an exercise session, a Pilates session, in the foulest mood. And Nicolette, tell me, how do you feel after it?
I always feel good after a session.
Yes, definitely. I think
Always.
many times you've had that conversation, haven't we? So,
Even when I don't want to do it, like today, I'm like, I'm going to feel better afterwards anyway, so let me just do it.
amazing. Absolutely love that. So there you go. They go hand in hand. And so as we move into the next topic, we are going to try and think about enhancing your mindset when it comes to the context of fitness. So we've almost kind of gone how fitness is going to help like life and mindset. What does it do for us? but now we can think about tools that are almost like outside of the activity of doing physical activity. If that makes sense. So books, reading. Now, it doesn't always have to be reading, because admittedly, if we are busy people and we already find it difficult to set time aside and to do all of these things, and we're on the go constantly, audiobooks are fabulous. So there are a great deal of like really powerful books that people have written out there, and I guess they kind of come under the self-help. But I remember during one of my own fitness journeys, I was going for a fitness competition, and at the time I wasn't a fan of reading. I just thought, like, growing up, I wasn't a book person. It was not one of those things that I was into. And actually, it was really hard when it came to reading literature during university, because I had to start reading. So it was hard. But when I went through my fitness journey, and I guess like how Nicolette currently, she's on the treadmill, she's listening to us. I listen to audiobooks. So great books out there. And there was one that I listened to, which, Nicolette, I believe I've sent you this one before as a gift. By
Yes, it was the bad one.
So I'll help you out there. It's a book by Jen Sincero. I think I've said her name correctly. And it's like, you are a badass. You are a badass. And it's her, the woman is talking to you about her journey and how she came out to become positive and that sort of thing. So I feel like positivity almost like breeds positivity. And it's like, it's also thinking, I mean, coming away from the topic, but like the company that you keep as well, the people that you surround yourself with, what is their journey and what are they into? And I feel like as I'm looking at this list, there's so many things that I'm kind of jumping the gun at. But from audiobooks, we can think of podcasts. So podcasts are a great, they're like, I feel like growing up, well, my parents and my grandparents' generation would have listened to the radio. Then obviously television came along, we all got sucked into TV, everyone's got really into like series and stuff, and then we've got all this like Netflix, etc. But the birth of podcasts have just been incredible, and I'm guessing that they've always been there, or maybe they've been around for a long time, but they've definitely become more and more more of a more how can I say, like, popular platform. So there's loads of people to learn off over there, like whether it's people that are involved in business, people that are involved in coaching in some manner, people that just share their own experiences and love to just like have a good old chat about whatever topics it is. And like podcasting has really blown up over the last few years. So there's like, no matter what topic you're into, I feel like there's something for you out there. And for me personally, I've got a few favorite podcasts, and what I do like is you've got shorter versions, which are great when you've only got a short journey to do, but then you've also got longer ones, which almost feel like you're watching a movie, but you're watching it over a number of days. So if you're in the car on the way to work, you know, or you're on the bus or whatever, you can like start to listen to like the first 20 minutes of this chat. And a lot of the time, these podcasters, they bring on other people, they'll talk various different topics. And there's something about learning about something that you know nothing about, which it makes you feel like, I think it's like, it's adding to sort of your like your knowledge, you're expanding your knowledge. You feel like you're using your brain a bit more. You feel like you're being wowed and opened into an area that you didn't even know existed. Like, I remember listening to a podcast about how solar panels work and how people take electricity and it was bizarre. I mean, gosh, I'm sure there are wilder, crazier topics out there, but I think there's just a whole scope out there. And it's really interesting because Sonia, actually, you were quite interested in listening to podcasts. You wanted to have something that helped you with your mindset as well. Do you remember who I recommended to you, and what's that done for you? Have you listened to any of the episodes?
I don't remember, but I know that the one that you recommended me, I just started listening to that today. I think it was about 10 minutes, but it was very interesting. I think this was about today's one was about focusing on a task. So it was very interesting. Yeah. And I think it's good, like if you're someone who like you yourself say you don't like you're not interested into books, if you're not reading, like my job is basically doing that with children, so I'm not so much into reading books myself. So I think podcast is like it's a quick and easy way, and I think it's a really good way of listening to someone else and learning so much knowledge.
Yeah, having a different perspective as well. And that podcast, the guy that does the podcast, actually, I started listening to that during lockdown, and the fact that it was just really short and it was 10 minutes, I believe he started it because he wanted people to be able to sit down and enjoy listening to him whilst having a cup of coffee. So that's the background on his podcast, and he actually started it about 20 years ago. So he's like really, really good. And again, like you say, he thinks about really simple, especially mindset focused topics, and like almost makes you feel pumped and amped for the day. Like, I just think it's brilliant. And actually, on the subject of reading, I do try and make myself read more in the winter. And it sounds odd, but I feel like, if I'm home anyway and I'm not out and about, it's quite a nice way to calm your brain down and do something where you almost create your own voice in your own head whilst you get ready for bed, right? So that's great. So we won't keep you here for hours, ladies, but moving on, meditation and mindfulness apps. So you girls had any experience with those? Do you want to hear some of mine?
No, I've heard of them though.
Yeah. So for me, I've used a few of them, and some of the major like audio platforms do allow like free insights into, as part of the subscription, they allow you to kind of like listen to some of these like mindfulness things and meditations. Like, meditation is something that I probably got into about 10 plus years ago, and I haven't really revisited because I think it's really hard, and it's really hard, especially in like a fast-paced world, to try and like slow down and focus. So I think there is something in that. And maybe again it takes something from yoga and tai chi and some of these other things, but there are apps out there that will allow you to do guided meditations, for example, for like a minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then you've also got like mindfulness apps as well. So again, it's like hit and miss whether or not you feel like they work for you. But I feel like with this list that we're working through, it's finding what works for you and what makes you tick and makes you feel like, gets your mindset, your positive mindset going. So it's just sort of like improving it and helping add to that sort of ongoing process, because it's not just going to happen overnight. It does take time. So working on our brain muscles as well as our body muscles, they take time. And the final one is our fitness community. So the reason I say fitness community is obviously we're thinking about mindset and we're thinking about fitness, but I feel like community is such an important thing. We grow up and you gather friends and you gather associates through life, and Sometimes with friends, you almost like, because you've known them for such a long time, you almost become a part of each other as well. And that, I guess that's what I'm trying to relate to the community aspect, is that they might not always be good for you. So it's like, it's great to have friends, it's great to build relationships, but it's also nice to build relationships that are also built around things that you're also into and you have a common interest with, and something where everyone is focused on a goal or on a task. They've got, you know, a journey. They're like-minded individuals, and I guess in some ways it's about also increasing that friendship aspect as well. So you're going to find that, you know, although you might look on the outside and think, well, I'm so different to the other person or the other people in the group, but there'll be some similarities in what you do. So yeah, I just think it's something to consider. And ladies, I don't know if you've been seeing, but I've been running a challenge alongside at the moment. It's just a 14-day challenge, and the community has been a heavy part of that. These ladies are supporting one another, they're cheering each other on, they're motivating each other, they're congratulating each other. And I feel like that is so important, and those are the things that are going to help, you know, enhance your mindset as well. So I guess that's pretty much it from me. Are there any other questions? Did anyone want to like add anything or go over anything? Did it answer any questions for you on the topic? Should we start with Nicolette? Okay.
I don't have anything to add on, but I want to add on a bit about fitness and mindset and how it makes you feel. And I know that you put, like, I train 6 times a week, and sometimes for me it's a lot, but even if you can't do it all, doing something better than nothing. And you always do end up feeling better after training.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm trying to say is just moving your body in general is going to make you feel good.
Perfect. So for those of you that cannot hear exactly, because I think Nicolette's now moved away from the gym and she's walking and she's outside in the world there. It's just so cool. I'm just going to relay that back, but just moving your body will just help your mindset. There's that connection that's undeniable. Like, you cannot ignore that. So I think that's definitely really important. And again, things take time, and it's all about the building blocks and working on that progress. And if we sort of move on to Sonia, is there anything you'd like to add or question?
I think you both like pretty much said most of it, but I agree there that I think it's very important to just be motivated towards the goal that you want to achieve, and yeah, just be committed, and it takes time, like you said.
Yeah, of course, it definitely does. And ladies that are watching this back, if you've got any questions that you would like to ask, please ask inside the group, DM if private as well. Obviously, you know, if you're in the program, then we'll be working closely together on your fitness and your mindset. So I guess I just wanted to kind of wrap things up here. Me and the ladies are actually going to continue talking after we've recorded this. But if you are listening and you find that your fitness and your mindset and things are feeling a little bit disconnected, like, please feel free to send me a message on Instagram. That's where you can find me. My name is Richu Bra, and so my Instagram handle is at RICHU BRAR, and we will catch you here next time.